everyone. I thought it might be kind of fun to look at a few different options for back bends and just to kind of refine back bends so that they become a little more comfortable if it's comfort that's lacking in your back bends right now. I used to be afraid of doing back bends and thought that they might hurt me, but I quickly learned that they were so comfortable and so strengthening. So we spend so much time, as you know, in our society seated, and that creates a forward slumping, rounded posture. So what's happening is that there's all kinds of muscle imbalances that are being created here, where my whole front side is shortening and contracting and getting weak, and the backside is stretching and rounding to compensate for that. So when we come into back bends, we can help to counter those effects of a seated slumping posture by opening up the front of the body and giving it length and width and strengthening the back. So it's just a wonderful way to do that. Okay, so without further ado, let's come to TV watching pose, just like when we were little kids. So lying on your tummy. And take your hands to your jaw and your chin and your head and just rest your head in there, all right? And let your head get heavy in there. Now, notice first of all how you are on your feet. Are you kind of rolling your feet outwards and going onto your little toes? Are your ankles kind of sickling? So straighten out the ankles and the legs and try to come very firmly onto the tops of the feet, the tops of the toes, and spread out your toes so that you might even be able to connect all 10 toenails to the floor. And then walk your feet back to make them lengthen your legs. And right away you'll notice that you created a bit of length here in the front by the hip flexors, which need to be in extension for our back bends. Okay, so we're here. Now imagine that you have a magnet on the inside of each of your legs and draw those two magnets together. And as you do that and activate the inner thighs or the adductors, you might have noticed that right away it kind of turned on your glutes. And if not, just squeeze your buns, squeeze your glutes, and then from here, release your hands and come down into Sphinx pose. Give yourself a strong foundation. Try not to let your elbows splay out, but keep them inwards underneath your shoulders. Press forward into the mat. Now remember, lengthen the legs. You're on all 10 toenails. Inside of the legs activated, glutes awake. Start coming up through the pelvic floor, lift through the abdomen, and feel the abdominal muscles lengthening, but at the same time, you want to have some tension in there to hold this stretch from the front. So it's not lax and release, you're lifting up against it. Okay, so that would be your Sphinx pose. All right, go ahead and come down. Take your forehead down to your hands, and as you're there, lift your heels up over your knees and just gently windshield washer the legs back and forth, just neutralizing the spine a little bit. So it's a good practice to have gentle twists following any back bends. All right. So from here, we're going to take our hands down, spread the fingers wide underneath our shoulders, and imagine that you're like a grasshopper, that you're going to leap through the meadows and fields. So tuck your elbows in, and then from here, push yourself up, legs long, on all 10 toenails, lengthen. Try not to jut the chin up, but keep the neck in line, and there's your baby cobra. There you go. And release down. Exhale. So to come up to full cobra, what we're going to do is lengthen, pushing up through the arms. And here you come to your cobra. And then to come to upward dog, you simply lift the legs off and you're just on the tops of your feet. Remember, long legs, inside of the thighs activated, glutes awake. Wring out those abs. Open up the chest. And then curl the toes. Come to a downward dog. Just a little counter stretch here. I wouldn't recommend during your back bend practice initially to do a lot of hinging at the lower back or lumbar spine and to come into any type of deep forward flexion if you're not used to it, because you're creating too much stress right here at the lower back. So let's just come to a high child pose. And there you go. There's a few simple back bends for you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope it helps you. See you next time. Namaste.